Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. We are discussing syllabus review. This is basically our syllabus for O levels English language 1123. Yesterday we discussed paper 1, that is reading paper. Let's have a recap of our reading paper. So when we talk about reading paper, that is our P1. In P1 we have question number 1, that is 16 marks. We have question number 2. Question number 1 is comprehension task. Question number 2 is use of language task. It has 9 marks. Question number 3A is summary task. It has 20 marks. And question number 3B is short response. It has 5 marks. That is a complete breakup of P1. 25 plus 25. That makes it 50 marks. That was P1 for us. Again, I am telling you, question number 1, comprehension task, 16 marks. Question number 2, use of language task, 9 marks. Question number 3A, summary task, 20 marks. And question number 3B, short response, 5 marks. That is P1. Now, today we are going to discuss P2. These are a few general things that we have already discussed in the syllabus overview. That what is the aim of this subject, this O level English language 1123, what basically is expected of a student after finishing his complete syllabus after 2 or 3 years. So what do we expect from them? These are the things that we have already discussed. Now paper 2. Paper 2 time is the same as was in P1, 2 hours, that is writing paper, and it has 50% weightage of the marks. That means P1 has 50 marks, P2 has 50 marks. What are the assessment objectives of writing paper? That is assessment objectives of writing paper 2. Candidates will be assessed on their ability to writing objective number 1. Articulate experience and express what is thought, felt and imagined. Articulate means to express clearly. Writing 2, organize and structure ideas and opinions for deliberate effect. Writing 3, use a range of vocabulary and sentence structures appropriate to context. Writing 4, use register appropriate to context. And writing 5, make accurate use of spelling, punctuation and grammar. Here, these are AOs that are writing assessment objectives. When we do question number 1 of writing paper, that is directly writing task, in that we have 2 objectives from a reading side also. So we will assess those objectives while we are doing the syllabus. Assessment objectives as percentage of each component, we discussed this yesterday also while we were doing P1. So assessment objectives of reading in reading paper are 80% and writing 20%. Now in writing paper, 80% of the time or 80% weightage is given to the writing component, whereas 20% weightage has been given to the reading component also, and that is in the directly writing task. Now let's move forward. In writing paper, basically what is expected of you, that express what is thought, felt and imagined. We have already discussed. Organize and convey facts, ideas and opinions effectively. Demonstrate a varied vocabulary appropriate to the context. Demonstrate an effective use of sentence structures. Demonstrate an understanding of audience, purpose and form. Tone. Demonstrate accuracy in spelling, punctuation and grammar. These are the things that are expected of a student when he is doing his writing paper. As developing writers themselves, now as a writer, because you have to write compositions, you have to write academic writings. So what is expected, that as developing writers themselves, students should be introduced to a range of writing skills, including the ability to create and compose text with a variety of forms and purposes. This is the purpose of this English language writing paper, like descriptive writing, narrative writing, argumentative writing, persuasive writing. Argumentative and persuasive, they are part of directed writing task. Learning should include focus on the following text types: email, letter, report, article, speech, and summary. Now this is our P2 writing paper. There you must be thinking that why they have written summary here. Why have they mentioned summary here in the writing task? So because in summary task you are assessed for your writing skills also. 10 marks are for the writing. That's why here they have mentioned the writing also. You have to write an email, letter, report, article, speech, and with that you are going to be assessed for your writing skill in summary writing task also. So that's why in writing they have mentioned the summary also. Now the next one, paper 2 writing. Written paper 2 hours and 50 marks. You all know. Candidates answer 2 questions, one from section A and one from section B. The texts are printed on the question paper. Dictionaries must not be used. Now this is section A of directed writing task. This is, look at this. This is section A, that is called directed writing. Now sometimes students when they pronounce this, they say directive. No, you must be clear about it. This is not directive, this is directed. And basic purpose of directed writing task is that you need to follow the instruction. You have to follow the command, the instructions or directions given in your question. This question has 25 marks. That is a compulsory question. That is one question. Here you will have just one thing. That can be a speech, a letter, an article, a report or email. But you are not going to have any choice. You will have just one thing in directed writing task and you will have to do that. So candidate read one or two texts totaling approximately 400 to 450 words in length. Now what you have to do? You have to use, develop and evaluate the information in the text to create a discursive, argumentative and persuasive speech, email, report, letter or article. So basically there are 5 things here in writing task: speech, email, report, letter or article. And the nature of all these 5 things must be discursive, argumentative and persuasive. They are going to be nature wise discursive. Now discursive means that something that is based on logical arguments, logical reasoning. Argumentative, as it is evident that something that is based on arguments. And persuasive, where you give your arguments to convince someone or to persuade someone to do something or to dissuade someone that they should not do this. So this is a discursive, argumentative, persuasive, speech, email, report, letter or article. Candidate write about 250 to 350 words. Word limit, that is your word limit for your directed writing task, 250 to 350 words. The question test. Now what is the assessment, what is the detail of assessment objectives for directed writing task? Here 2 objectives are from reading side and 5 are from writing side. Articulate experience and express what is thought, felt and imagined. Number 2, organize and structure ideas and opinions for deliberate effect. 3, use a range of vocabulary and sentence structures appropriate to context. Use register appropriate to context. Make appropriate to context means that if you are writing a letter, the context is that you are writing a letter. So anything, any word, any vocabulary that you are going to use, that must be according to If that is formal letter, you are going to use those kind of words. If you are writing an informal, it is going to be that kind of thing. If you are writing a speech, then the register is going to be different. You are going to use a bit emotive and emotional vocabulary. So context matters a lot as far as this directed writing task is concerned. Make accurate use of spellings, punctuation and grammar. So this is the thing that is checked here in this task, that it must be that any writing piece that you are coming up with, it must be error free. You must not have any spelling errors, punctuation errors or grammatical errors in that. There are two reading objectives also, and these two objectives have 10 marks as well. Analyze, evaluate and develop facts, ideas and opinions using appropriate support from the text. Select and use information for specific purposes. These two are reading objectives, and these two objectives have 10 marks. The first 5 ones, they are writing objectives and they have 15 marks. So next one now, B part. Let's have a look at that. So B is composition. Again, it has 25 marks. Candidates answer one question from a choice of 4. Here in B part in your paper, you have question number 2, 3, 4 and 5. Question number 1 is directed writing task that we have already discussed. So now what you do, you have 2, 3, 4 and 5, and what you are going to do, that you will have to do just one out of these 4. They are 2 and 3 are descriptive and 4 and 5 are narrative questions. So you have to choose according to your own aptitude, according to your own inclination. If you like descriptive, you can go with that. If you like narrative, you can choose that and then come up with a very good essay. That can be a descriptive essay of 350 to 450 words, or a narrative composition of 350 to 450 words. Now candidate answer one question from a choice of 4, 2 descriptive, 2 narrative. Candidates develop and write a composition. Candidates write about 350 to 450 words. This is the word limit for composition. For directed writing task, it was 250 to 350. And for narrative writing task, for composition task, be it narrative or descriptive, the word limit is 350 to 450. This question tests the following writing assessment objectives. Writing 1, articulate experience and express what is thought, felt and imagined. 2, organize and structure ideas and opinions for deliberate effect. 3, use a range of vocabulary and sentence structures appropriate to context. And 5, make accurate use of spelling, punctuation and grammar. Now writing 4 is not given here. Writing 4 is not used in our direct composition task. Now let's have a look at what is writing 4. Here is use register appropriate to context. I explained this, that what is meant by this, because this is related to letter, email, report or speech writing, email writing. That's why for composition writing we do not count writing objective number 4. There are only 4 objectives that you are going to be assessed for. They are writing 1, 2, 3 and 5. Now what is a descriptive essay? A descriptive piece of writing describes a person, place or situation, including atmosphere, in detail so that the reader can picture it. We'll discuss them in detail. Now at the moment we are just discussing the syllabus, so I'm not going into detail. Then narrative. A narrative piece of writing tells a story containing a sequence of connected events which may be real or imaginary. So this is our syllabus for P2, and now you all must be very clear about it, that in P2 we have 2 questions. Question 1 is a compulsory question, that is directed writing task, and question 2 is our composition task. So both have 25 marks. Direct writing has 25 marks. Question number 2, composition, that has 25 marks. So that was our syllabus. Now we have completed. We have done P1, we have done P2, and after that we are going to, inshallah, tomorrow I'll be discussing something else with you. Stay tuned. Take care. Allah Hafiz.